Right, you must do these things before you go to an insolvency practitioner. Okay, Chris Worden, director first. I'm calling out UK directors. Obviously, UK economy really tough at the moment. Many sectors are affected. If you're considering liquidation, you've got to do these things before you appoint the insolvency practitioners. Right, the first thing you've got to do is, are you insolvent? What does that mean? Can I pay my debts when they fall due? Are my liabilities worth more than the assets? If you're insolvent, move on to the next thing. When you're looking for an insolvency practitioner, it's a really big decision, okay? Something that can have catastrophic consequences for you if it goes wrong. And if it goes right, it's not the most pleasant of experiences, but you'll get through this. So where do you find a good insolvency practitioner? You may look on YouTube or TikTok for a certain bold chap with glasses. He will be able to help you enormously. But if you don't, just do your research. Go on those review sites, look at things like Trustpilot, ask for recommendations, not always from your accountant, okay, but from people who have used an insolvency practitioner in the past and had a good experience. Okay, another thing that you want to do, number 3, is get accounts up to date, or get your accounting software up to date. And QuickBooks, Sage, or your Xero. And why that's important is it sort of gives you a final picture of where the business is. Yes, what debts are owed, but here's the thing that I want you to do that for, is if you have an up-to-date set of accounts done, or an up-to-date sort of balance sheet and profit and loss, it will show if you've got a director's loan account, and it will show if it's overdrawn. If it is overdrawn, how much is it overdrawn? Because if it's overdrawn, that's going to be an issue for you in insolvency, and you need to deal with that up front, okay? Another thing, don't start paying everybody preferentially. If you've got some cash in the bank but you're insolvent, you need to seek insolvency advice at that point. Now, if you start, say, paying off, personally loans that have been personally guaranteed, and then you go into liquidation, an insolvency practitioner is going to pick that up. It's called a preference payment. You've paid them for the benefit of you, not for the benefit of other creditors. That's going to get you in trouble, okay? Another thing, don't be selling assets for cheap. Like, literally, you can sell your assets if you're going into insolvency, but they've got to be at fair market value. And unless you're a valuer, it's highly unlikely you're qualified to give that fair market value. So let's say you're selling, some vans and some cars. You could get a valuation on WeBuyAnyCar.com, WeBuyAnyVan.com. But if you're looking at selling some assets, it's important that you speak to a valuer or an agent who will actually give you some type of report to back up why you're selling them pre-liquidation. Don't be taking any more customer deposits. If you are not going to be able to finish the jobs and you take the deposits, that is wrongful trading. Huge consequences for wrongful trading and fraudulent trading. People go to prison for that stuff. So literally, if you become insolvent and you don't think you're going to get through it, stop taking any more deposits. Another thing is, don't waste all the money in the bank. Literally, insolvency practitioners are going to want some fees in the bank, okay? And they're going to look at if there was 30 grand 2 weeks before you liquidated, and by the time you come to them, there's nothing left. They're going to be following where that money's gone. So please don't waste any money that's in the bank. And finally, get a full written proposal. If an insolvency firm wants your business, and they need to be putting everything down on writing, all the costs, how are you going to pay for the costs? Nothing needs to be left to chance. And finally, sleep on it. Literally, do not be forced into signing up with an insolvency practitioner. It's a big decision for you to make. Done right, it can end up okay. Done badly, it can be absolutely harrowing for the director. So sleep on it, take your time on it, and then make a decision. Thanks for your time, Chris Worden, Director First.